What do you got for me, Richard?
You answered in your answer. I was going to say, who here knew how long he was an assistant coach? But
well,
I think that would have been a tough question. I think you guys would struggle with that.
By how many years he's been the head coach, and you get the assistant number.
I didn't know that information was going to be available.
Dan Dickhouse studied when he was at Gonzaga. Fox obviously just walked his way through it.
Academic All-American, not just an All-American.
That's right.
You know, I've got a lot of math problems right now because I've got a second grader at home, so I'm really going back to the basics.
Isn't that crazy? You're going to have to relearn algebra eventually.
Just when you think you're done with homework.
Well, for so many years, all I had to count it by was 2s and 3s. And personally, I like to count by 3s, I forgot a lot of the other numbers out there.
Right. Dower finally gets a touch inside, one-on-one, and what's he doing? Just nice move, a little fadeaway over that left shoulder.
It should be a great shot because from what I saw last year, most of his finishes were left hand, right shoulder jump hook. So if he can come with something over the left shoulder, it's really going to expand his opportunities.
Spangler now with his 10th rebound of the game. Dower missed the easy one, got it back, and now he'll shoot free throws. But Spangler, 8 points, 10 rebounds, 4 of 5 from the field.
And Sam just struggling right now. You can see he's getting frustrated, but what you like is he keeps wanting, you can tell great scorers when they continue to want the basketball. Even when they're struggling, they want the ball. In their mind, it's just a matter of odds that eventually they're going to get things going. And he's got that, though. And
he's only taken 4 shots, though.
Yeah, but that's unfortunate. He needs a lot more touches than that. But the last 3 or 4 minutes, he's really been a lot more active. And he's missed some bunnies inside, but I like his aggressive approach as a scorer. And, Dan, you can talk about that. I mean, you were a big-time scorer while you were here.
You were?
We've seen Adam. We've seen Blake. Those guys have all been able to put up great numbers. And even on an off night, you've got to keep looking to score.
Well, as a scorer, a lot of times all you need is one shot to go through the hoop, whether it's a breakaway layup, whether it's a free throw. Once you see that ball go through the basket, that rim becomes that much bigger, and it's easy from there.
How about Mike Hart?
Nice.
And the finish. That's why Mike Hart has to play minutes for Gonzaga this year.
And that's why he ended up playing minutes last year. Plays like that. Now, he has an impact in the game without needing the basketball, and that's becoming more and more of a rare commodity.
And the charge. Look who's on the ground.
Talk about Mike Hart. Once again, he covered for a teammate's mistake. Sam Dower, that's probably not the gamble that we want. 25 feet away from the basket.
Yep.
Got beat. Mike Hart steps up, helped his teammate, took that charge. Now it's Gonzaga ball.
Mike Hart, one of those walk-ons for head coach Mark Few that's made an impact. And
a great tradition in this program with walk-ons.
I think it kind of sells him short when you say, well, it kind of reminds you of the old days or the old players or whatever. But he's a kid that's made the most of his opportunity. And that is a big body now. He's 6'5", and he's thick and big, broad shoulders. To me, he should be playing football somewhere.
Well, to me, reminds me so much of Mike Nielsen. I mean, Mike Nielsen had a better overall career as far as his impact. Defensive Player of the Year in the WCC. But
there he is again.
Once again. Yeah, I mean, he can have a role on this team defensively on the glass and offensively just not turning the ball over. And I think Coach Few has come to really value that in Mike. In a pinch, you can put him in a game and you know you're going to get time in and time out. You see his second charge is taken, just steps in, and great understanding. Get your feet outside the line. And
talking about that line, that is a great addition to the college game. By
it took about 2 years too long to finally get it going, but it's nice to see it.
Well, the other addition, I know it's not this year, it was, I believe, last year when they moved the three-point line back.
No shot there. That won't count by Branginas. Matisse Kaida, number 25, on the floor now for GU.
He's going to foul inside.
And Sam Dower will now go to the free throw line with 5:59 to play. Sam's just one of those great guys to hang out with, too. Got a very electric smile. He's got a kind of a cool little laugh.
Good kid.
He's got a sense of humor that's a little dry. And a great team guy, good locker room guy. He's everything for Mark Few. I think he's going to be, by the time he's done here, he's going to be one of the players that are remembered in this program.
I would agree. And like you said earlier in the night, Greg, it's just you don't see guys who can score with their back to the basket anymore, really. And it comes so natural to him. And that's what's impressive is Mike Hart gets himself A little tip off the missed free throw. Mike.
I mean, even at Gonzaga, we don't. I mean, Batista could do it. Violet could do it. You could do it.
Roney ended up being pretty good.
Roney ended up being all right at it.
Zach Gord was junior year.
But again, now, guys, we're going back a little ways with these people.
Josh Heitfeld, as talented as he was, much more of a face-up big. Didn't really have much when it came to being able to score with his back to the basket.
But my point is, it's not just at Gonzaga. I mean, it's hard anywhere in America to find that kind of player anymore. And if you find one, they're at Duke, Carolina, Arizona. I mean, they're at the elite programs.
But nobody teaches that anymore.
Right.
You get very...
Because it doesn't end up on SportsCenter, Dan Dickow.
Well, but the way basketball is typically played from the youth level up these days, unfortunately, is that the ball's in the guard's hands, and if you don't have a unselfish point guard, you're not going to get the ball.
It's a
So a lot of times what these guys do is, I'm not going to go down there and play with my back to the basket because I'll never get the ball. So they do what they have to do so that they can be included in the game. It's a shame, but the ones who can do it definitely stand out.
I would agree. It's all the point guard's fault.
Well, here we go with the big versus the point guard discussion. But
I think the problem is that the big wants to be the point guard.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
I think that's the problem.
That's the point of the night, Greg. Thank you very much.
Was 5:10 to play, finally. 78-43 our score. Yeah, I think Sandauer's got a real future professionally. Oh, he continues to grow like he is. And he's 6'9", I get it. So he's a bit of a tweener deal when we're talking NBA, but I think he's going to get his opportunity. He can really score, and if he continues to build rebounding, he's going to get there.
Well, I think if he gets bigger, starts continuing to fill out, because he's got the frame to add some more weight. He's got to really commit himself to the weight room. He's a good athlete, not a great athlete. But to me, you know, that ability to score, you know, you see those natural scores, that's not going anywhere.
No.
But how does he improve defensively? How does he do on the glass? He's not a great rebounder yet. Defensively, you know, we saw him gamble there. You know, you have to know the game a little better. You know, you're not going to get that. You know, be solid defensively.
He's a sophomore, though.
Oh, no.
Starting his redshirt sophomore year, right?
I think he'll get there. He'll get there.
I look at him as being kind of like a poor man's version of Zach Randolph.
Who was
on the court, not on the off-the-court stuff.
But who was a lottery pick.
Who was exactly. He was a lottery pick. What Zach Randolph does so well is he creates space and he finds different ways to score. Sam right now is learning how to find different ways to score. He's always around the basket. If he can extend his range to where he can consistently hit it to 18 to 20 feet off a pick and pop, or when he goes high-low action, is going to be huge. But he's also going to have to, like Richard said, get stronger. But with that strength, he's going to have to be able to figure out how to finish through guys and with guys hanging on him, because you've seen Richard's talked about missing a few bunnies tonight. He's had some guys climbing on him. These are 6'4" guys hanging on him, not 6'10" guys.
There's a nice play off the inbound, but can't finish. And Spangler with yet another rebound. He's got 11 rebounds.
So here's a little interesting look for the last 5 minutes of the game. Bell's going to be at the point. I think they consider him a combo guard. You know, he's more of a shooting guard, more of a scorer, but if he can develop some of those point guard skills, we've seen two point guards in this program play together several times. You look at Ravio, Pargo played together for a couple years, and then Bolden was in the mix as well with Pargo. You look at Dan and Blake played together, Matt and Quinton Hall played together. Quinton Hall, who I think is one of the most unsung guys that have come through this program, a great player. If Bell can get some of those skills, to have two guys out there at the same time, whether it be any combination of those three, Stockton, Pangos, or Bell, that's going to really help you.
What happens with having two point guards on the floor is you're able to handle any kind of defensive pressure the other team throws at you. So you should be able to get into your offensive sets with relative ease every time down the floor. And with all three of the guards that they have, being Stockton, Pangos, and Bell, they can all shoot it well enough, and they're improving in their shot, so they're going to keep the defense honest as well.
Chris Sarbaugh, number 14, checking into the game for Gonzaga, a freshman out of Spokane. Played at Gonzaga Prep, a walk-on, and now he gets his opportunity.
Big kid for a guard. Played point guard in high school, won a state championship, beat Bell in the tournament. Kittredge.
You know, and I like the thing that he's keeping the Gonzaga tradition of always having one guy with hair that's a little bit out there.
Right.
Whether it was myself,
I'm sure
Blake Stepp, Ronny
I'm sure you
Turioff.
can help him out with some hair tips. You know, he's got to do a little more with that, doesn't he?
Oh, he's got no